Hi students, good morning all of you. Today I want to discuss about Jablonski diagram which describes the fate of the excited molecules and some physical process. In this Jablonski diagram, I want to explain briefly about energy cascade, phosphorescence, fluorescence and internal conversion and intersystem crossing, single states and triplet states. So these all processes are explained briefly in this chapter. So please, dear students, listen carefully. So I want to start. When a molecule promoted photochemically to an excited state, it does not remain there for a long time. Most promotions are from the S0 to S1 state. S0 means ground state singlet. S1 means first excited singlet state. Promotions to S2 and higher singlet states also takes place, but in liquids and solids, these higher states usually drop very rapidly to the S1 state because the lifetime of S2 and S3 etc. is usually less than 10 power minus 11 to 10 power minus 13 seconds. So the energy lost when an S2 or S3 molecule drops to S1 is given to the medium. Such a process is called an energy cascade. In a similar manner, the initial excitation and the decay from higher singlet states initially populate many of the vibrational levels of S1, but these also cascade down to the lowest vibrational level of S1. This cascade is known as a vibrational cascade. This cascade is known as vibrational cascade. All these processes will occur in about 10 power minus 11 to 10 power minus 13 seconds. The thermally equilibrated low-lying singlet excited state, that is S1, has a relatively long lifetime, that is about 10 power minus 8 seconds. Therefore, in most cases, the lowest vibrational level of the S1 state is the only important excited singlet state. That is, the lowest vibration level V0 of the S1 state is the only important excited singlet state because this is the low-lying singlet excited state has a relatively long lifetime, that is about 10 power minus 8 seconds. This state can undergo various physical and chemical processes. Here we will describe the physical pathways open to molecules in S1 and excited triplet states. These pathways are shown in a Jablonski diagram. This is the Jablonski diagram. Here S0 is the ground singlet state, and S1 is the first excited singlet state, T1 is the excited triplet state, S2 is the second excited singlet state. So this is the Jablonski diagram which show different physical and radiative and non-radiative process. So let us explain this Jablonski diagram. The first point is a molecule in S1 a molecule in S1 state can cascade down through the vibration levels of the S0 and thus return to the ground state by giving up its energy in small increments to the surroundings. But this is generally quite slow because the amount of energy is large between S0 and S1. So once again I repeat this one. That is a molecule in S1 state can cascade down through the vibration level of the S0 and thus return to the ground state by giving up its energy in small increments to the environment. But this is generally quite slow because the amount of energy is large between S0 and S1. The process of cascade is called internal conversion. This is called internal conversion. ఈ ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ క్యాస్కేడ్ మనం ఇంటర్నల్ కన్వర్షన్ అంటాం. బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ స్లో, మోస్ట్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ in S1 state adopt their other pathways. Most molecules can adopt other pathways in the S1 state. Next one is the lifetime of S1 state is 10 power minus 9 to 10 power minus 15 seconds. So a molecule in the S1 state can drop to some low vibrational level to the S0. Once again I repeat this one. The lifetime of S1 state is 10 power minus 9 to 10 power minus 15 seconds. So a molecule in the S1 state can drop to some low vibrational level to the S0 state all at once by giving off energy in the form of light. This process when generally happens within 10 power minus 19 seconds. This is called as fluorescence. This is called as fluorescence. So in fluorescence, a molecule in the S1 state drop to some low vibrational level to the S0 state and giving off energy in the form of light. This pathway is not very common because it is relatively slow. That means fluorescence is very slow except for smaller molecules. For example, for diatomic or rigid molecules like aromatic compounds are the main examples. In these compounds or molecules, it may be fluorescence can fastly occur. For compounds that show fluorescence, the fluorescence emission spectra are usually the approximate minor images of the absorption spectra. This comes about because fluorescing molecule all drop from lowest vibration level of S1 state to various vibration levels of the S0. While the excitation is from the lowest vibration level V0 of S0 to various vibrational levels of the S1. So here this diagram shows this is the excitation, this is the dropping down to the ground state. Here this is the singlet states. With the singlet states there are so many vibration levels are associated with the ground state singlet states, and this is the first excited state, and these are the vibration levels which are associated with the first excited singlet state. So in this excitation, as discussed earlier, in excitation, the excitation takes place from V0 of S0 to any other vibration level of the S1. But in a drop down or in de-excitation, the de-excitation takes place from V0 of S1 to any other vibration level of the S1, S0, any other vibration level of the ground state singlet. So this diagram shows the fluorescence between S1 and S0 states. Here S1 means first excited singlet state and S0 means ground singlet state. Another point is the only peak in common is the one called 0 peak that results from the transition between V0 S0 and V0 S1. In solution, even the 0 peak may be non-coincidental because the two states are solvated difference. Because of the possibility of fluorescence, any chemical reactions of S1 state must takes place very fast. It is very important point, that is because of the possibility of fluorescence, any chemical reactions of S1 state must takes place very fast, or fluorescence will occur before they can happen. Before they can happen, that means before happening the chemical reactions of S1, the fluorescence will occur. Next one is the most molecules in the S1 state may drop to the triplet state. Sometimes most of the molecules in the S1 state may drop to the triplet state. This is a slow process as change in a multiplicity. Here the molecule changes its multiplicity. That means it can drop from singlet to triplet state. See, the dropping of singlet to triplet state is the changing of the multiplicity. So here the changing of multiplicity is a late process, so it is a slow process. That means spin inversion takes place. It is a formally forbidden process. However, if the singlet state S1 is long lived, the S1 T1 conversion occurs by a process called inter-system crossing, which is simply called as ISC. If the singlet state S1 is long lived, the S1 T1 conversion occurs by a process called inter-system crossing. It is important phenomena in photochemistry, that is inter-system crossing. For every excited singlet state, there exists a corresponding triplet state. Since transition from ground state singlet to triplet state is forbidden, the inter-system crossing is the main source or a excited triplet state. This is one way of populating the triplet states. That is, inter-system crossing is the one of the way to populating the triplet state. The efficiency in the inter-system crossing depends upon the difference in the energy between the low-lying singlet state and a triplet excited state. When this energy difference is small, the IS is efficient. If the energy difference is if the energy difference between the singlet S1 and T1 is very small, then the IS is very efficient. When the energy difference is large, spin forbiddenness is quite important and ISC efficiency is low or zero. Generally speaking, ketones have high intersystem crossing efficiencies. Aromatic compounds have intermediate to high intersystem crossing efficiencies, and olefins have low intersystem crossing efficiencies. It is very important note that the presence of heavy atoms like sulfur, chlorine, bromine, iodine in a molecule enhances the intersystem crossing efficiency of the molecules. Since a single state usually has a higher energy than the corresponding triplet, this means that the energy must be given up. The energy must be given up. One way for this to happen is for the S1 molecule to cross to a T1 state at a higher vibration level, then for the T1 to cascade down to its lowest vibration level. Once again I repeat this one for your convenience. Since single state usually has a higher energy than corresponding triplet state, this means that the energy must be given up. One way for this to happen is for the S1 molecule to cross to a T1 state at a higher vibrational level, then for the T1 to cascade down to its lowest vibrational level. This cat case is very rapid, that is, it is about 10 power minus 12 seconds. When 2 to or higher states are populated, they too rapidly cascade to the lowest vibration level of the T1 state. Thus, intersystem crossing is a non-radiative process. Non-radiative process. Because in this T2 or higher states are populated, then too rapidly cascade to the lowest vibration level of the T1 state. Next point is lifetime of T1 state is actually 10 power minus 5 to 10 power minus 3 seconds. A molecule in the T1 state may return to the S0 state by giving up of heat. That is, the molecule return from T1 state to S0 state is also a intersystem crossing, and here giving up heat, so it is a non-radiative process. It may be given up heat or also light. This is called phosphorescence. Intersystem crossing, that means, once again I repeat this one. If a molecule in the T1 state may return to the S0 state by giving up of heat, then this process is called intersystem crossing, and it is a non-radiative process. If a molecule in the T1 state may return to the S0 state by giving up light, then this process is called phosphorescence. Intersystem crossing and phosphorescence, which is a radiative process, are very slow process because it takes 10 power minus 13 to 10 power 1 seconds. This means that T1 state generally have much longer lifetime than S1 states. Already we know that lifetime of S1 is 10 power minus 2 minus 9 to 10 power minus 15 seconds. And the lifetime of T1 is 10 power minus 5 to 10 power minus 3 seconds. When fluorescence and phosphorescence occur in same molecule, phosphorescence is found at lower frequencies than fluorescence. Why? Because of the higher difference in the energy between S1 and S0 than between T1 and S0. And the phosphorescence is found is longer lived process because longer lifetime of the T1 state. next point is, for many molecules the intersystem crossing, that is drop down from S1 to T1 state, is not very efficient. If this is the only way to produce T1, then T1 would be rather very limited. Definitely, triplet state can be populated by the use of donor molecules. Donor molecule is a substance whose intersystem crossing efficiency is high. Donor molecule produces T1 in high yield by intersystem crossing, and then this molecule transfers its excitation energy to the second molecule, which is known as acceptor. Excited state of donor molecule transfers its large amount of energy to the acceptor molecule. In this process, acceptor species promoted to the excited state and donor species return to the ground state. Suppose D is the donor, which is gains energy in the form of light and go to activated state. This donor molecule transfer energy to a acceptor molecule. Then this donor molecule goes to the ground state and the acceptor molecule goes to the excited state. Although photons are absorbed by donor molecule, it is A which becomes excited. This phenomena is known as photosensitization, and D is referred as a photosensitizer. So this is the explanation of Jablonski diagram, in which we are discussed about the energy cascade, vibrational cascade, and also we discussed about the fluorescence. Fluorescence is the S1 to S0 process, and also phosphorescence. Fluorescence is the internal conversion, and the phosphorescence is the internal system crossing. Both are different process. Here the inter-system crossing is the non-radiative process, and the phosphorescence is the radiative process, which takes place slowly when compared with the fluorescence. Because why it is a slow process? Because in phosphorescence the molecule changes its multiplicity, that is, it undergoes spin inversion, so it is a slow process. It is also a radiative process, but it is a slow process. So here I also explained about photosensitization with a brief discussion. So please, dear students, let us listen, be carefully two or more times. While listening this video, you make notes. It leads to effective learning. So this is the Jablonski diagram. This is the singlet state, ground state, singlet state. This is the triplet state. This is the excited. This is the first excited singlet state. This is the second excited singlet state. Drop down from S0 to S1 to S0 is called fluorescence, which is a radiative process. Similarly, drop down of a molecule from triplet state to singlet ground state is a phosphorescence. In this both process, an energy is given up. It is both are radiative process. S1 to S0 is internal conversion, while S1 to T1, S1 to T1, S1 to T1, S1 to T1 is the intersystem crossing. In this intersystem crossing, it is a non-radiative process. In this intersystem crossing, heat is given up. It is given up. It is a slow process. It is also a slow process. Here dropping of a molecule from S2 state to S1 state is also called as internal conversion. In a particular state, dropping of a molecule from a particular excited a particular higher vibronic level to lower vibronic level is called vibrational cascade. Vibrational cascade. So dear students, this is the simplest explanation of the Jablonski diagram. Please listen, be carefully. While listening this video, you have to make notes. This leads to effective learning. Thank you one and all.